You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that little person. You have to believe for your kids. Initially, I started. Hey guys, welcome back to TelaTash. I'm your host, Dr.Tash, where pain speaks and purpose answers. And today I have a wonderful guest with me. Her name is Rayon, and she is a mom, a partner, a friend, a healthcare provider. She's actually a strong, phenomenal woman. And I would like you guys to put your hands together for Rayon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Tasha. And I really appreciate this.
Yes.
I know we have been friends for most of almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And you've instilled so many positive things in me. And, you know, you personally know the challenges that I've had. And you've always been there to talk me through whatever. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So tell us about yourself. You know, I know you're a mom of two beautiful kids.
Two beautiful kids. I am was born in Guyana, and I migrated when I was 13, and quickly got into healthcare. My first daughter was born with Spina Bifida, and
can you tell us more about Spina Bifida?
Yes. So it is a congenital disorder. And when I say congenital, what I mean is a child is born with the condition. It happens when a child is forming in utero within a woman. So she was born with Spina Bifida, which is a deformation of the spinal column. And as you can imagine, the spinal column is sort of like a zipper from the back of the neck extending all the way just above the buttock. And at any point that the child is forming, that closure of the spine
doesn't fuse.
It doesn't fuse together, creating this openness of a sac where nerves are exposed. So I had to grow up very fast. Had her when I was almost 19. And she sort of guided my path on who I am today. And she's one of my biggest teachers, you know, and we have gone through numerous of challenges and overcame them. And still continue today.
Absolutely.
You know, we are taking it one day at a time. She is now 23.
Wow.
Yes, she's now 23, and she's an amazing young woman. She dances. She does wheelchair dancing. And
so your child is in a wheelchair?
Yes, she is wheelchair bound.
Okay.
She's wheelchair bound. With Spina Bifida, it depends on the type of Spina Bifida. And she was born with myelomeningocele, which is the worst of the 3 subtypes of Spina Bifida. And that involves muscles and also involves nerves that were damaged because of the spinal cord not being completely closed. And so there is some incontinence that's related to, you know, the nerves not being protected within the spine. So her Spina Bifida, as I mentioned before, it's myelomeningocele, which is the worst subtype, because you are involved in not just the spinal column, but there's the nerves, there's muscles that are being affected. And it depends on where. Her Spina Bifida is at an L3 level. And that's L3 is for the lumbar region, which the location is favorable in terms of how much ability she will have. But the subtype is what causes the severity of the functioning. And so from the level of the L3, L4 level that she was diagnosed with, anything below that was affected. It was affected in some way or another. Was born at full gestation age, 38 weeks, and was in the NICU for 3 weeks. Yes, so she was in the NICU for 3 weeks, and she was born via C-section because of the Spina Bifida, and had to have a few surgeries before she left, and blood transfusions, and so it was quite a bit of a guilt for me dealing with something like that, bringing a child into a world where I'm practically a child.
Yeah.
And
you were only
having
19.
to bear that burden of feeling like God was not being fair to me, feeling, wow, like I have all this love to give this little person. And there's people out there doing injustices to themselves. They're on crack, or they're on substance abuse, and here I am, I'm excited about having this little person. Yes, this is a situation that I will have to grow up very quickly.
Yeah.
But it was just a lot of my time was spent feeling guilt, feeling upset, feeling angry. Confused. And because I'm like, a doctor can tell you one thing. And we found out when I went for a sonogram, we found out, I believe I might have been 6 months in gestational age, 6 months pregnant. And they were like, they called us into office, and it was like, we noticed that there is a bump on the baby's spine, and there's some sort of deformity in the feet. And they explained to us what it was, and said that they would need to then transfer me to a high-risk doctor. And I started to see Dr. McCullough. He is at SUNY Downstate. I'm not sure if he's still there, but I started to see him downtown Brooklyn, and he followed through with the pregnancy. She was born full gestational age, 38 weeks, very alert, intelligent baby. Most of her, all the milestones with the exceptions of the physical ones, right? And she started thriving. She even started crawling. Yes, she started crawling. And at 9 months, that's where she sort of plateaued.
9 months?
She plateaued in terms of her physical ability. At 9 months, she crawled. And then that was it. She never stood up. She never, I think those positive things that I saw in her, and just the thrive that she had as a child that doesn't even know what spina bifida is. This is who I am in the world, and this is what I'm able to do. And I just started to look at her like, what am I complaining about? This is a beautiful little person, and she just needs to be cared for, she just needs to be cared for, and she needs to be loved. And she was the first grandchild. So she definitely had that. I mean, she definitely had that and more. So you having her in my life really shaped who I became as a person. I think at one point I was depressed and didn't even know what depression was, because just getting out of high school and having a baby, my friends are excited to see this child. And I felt like I hid her.
Really?
I felt like I would always make excuses like, she's, because I didn't want them to see what I considered an imperfection of a human being. And I remember just being referred to this very phenomenal person. She was a social worker. Her name is Tawana Walker. I don't know where she is today, but definitely she made such an impact on how I dealt with the way I saw my daughter initially and how I felt, and Tawana was a part of the early intervention program that they referred us to, called ICLC at the time. And she took me under her wing, and she made me understand that verbally expressing what I was truly feeling and giving me that safe space was the best thing for me to deal with a loss. It's sort of like I felt like it was a loss because, here I am not even understanding what this is, just what's getting happening out of high school. What's happening? Why am I dealing with this? Why am I signing all these consents for these multiple surgeries and blood transfusions, and neurosurgery has to see her, and it was so interesting, but it also paved the way for me to become who I am today. And
were you in the medical field at that time?
I definitely was not. was a dancer. I love dancing, and just
Wait, a dancer like a stripper, or a dancer?
Oh, no.
Like, so that we could make sure that we clarify.
Yeah, let's clarify, please. Let's clarify. No, I was getting ready to. I had just completed the Alvinelli dance camp.
Okay.
I had just completed the Alvinelli dance camp that summer, and then I found out I was pregnant with her.
Okay.
So I professional dancing, ballet, jazz.
So that's where your daughter get it from.
Yes, she always credits me for that. She always credits me for that, and even my dance teacher in high school, Miss Bowman, she was always very much supportive, and she saw that I was an amazing dancer. She saw that talent in me, and then gears kind of switched when Rihanna was born, and so there was a shift in not just having to think about me, but it's also like now I have this little person dependent on me, and I have to kind of put what I want to the back. And I mean, who tells an 18, 19-year-old that what your dreams are you have to put in the back? But I subconsciously had to understand that.
You knew it early.
I had to understand that, and I said to myself, I looked at her one day and I was like, I'm going to give you the best life I can possibly give you.
That motherly instinct just kicked in you.
Yes.
Even though you were this young 19-year-old girl.
Yes.
But that motherly, loving, caring nurturer, that
innateness of nurturing
in you came out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. And she's had a wonderful, I must say, 13 birthday parties.
Wow.
I mean, we brought the parties to our house. You know, they did the slumber parties. Yeah. You know, so I have done my best. Yeah. To the point where sometimes I think I should have put more responsibilities on her. But it's just like, you can't see that.
Do you feel like you have not given her a lot of responsibility because of the guilt, or because you just feel like she had enough struggles in life? Let me not put more on her.
What are her personal issues? Why were you paired up with this child? And you could have voiced the concern to the school nurse or the school. And, you know, we could have definitely had a meeting and adjust whatever the issues were. But
well, she don't know the damage that she could have done to you guys.
Absolutely.
Even to that little young lady who's battling health challenges, right? And now you're going to try to remove her from her one and only support system.
Exactly.
Her mother.
Exactly.
Why? Make it make sense. I
asked the same thing. You know, after a while, you sort of have to really look at things differently, because my initial response was, don't F with my kid and I. That was my initial response. Yeah. And then my second response was like, you know, obviously, yes, there was a care. To some degree, there was a care for this child, but an arrogant care, because you could have, you know, I had to start thinking this person obviously didn't know what spina bifida was. They didn't understand what incontinence was. They just acted based on
what they saw,
or whatever experience they had with my daughter. And you know, I tried to teach my daughter that there are going to be people out there asking you what you consider very silly questions about yourself, and it's not for you to be upset about it, because there are people who genuinely don't really know, anything. It's okay.
I think sometimes you can tell a young person that, but they really have to go through those life lessons, those tests, those trials to actually feel free to, you know, fit in that skin, that body of hers. She didn't choose it, right?
Right. I know that's so difficult for her.
You know, why everyone is walking and I'm not walking? Yeah. Why I have to be in a wheelchair? Yeah. So for us to tell this young person, hey, you know, toughen up, you know, be confident, tell someone, you know, this is just me. It doesn't come that easy. Yeah. It's not that easy, because she's dealing with a lot of mental, not only the physical, but now mental.
Yes. And I've seen that as well.
You know, and look at us who we can walk, we can do stuff for ourselves, and we still battling some certain mental and emotional stuff.
I
right?
agree with you.
As healthy as we are, right? Not saying she's not healthy, but there's some restriction to her.
Of course.
So, and I still struggle with being confident in my self-esteem.
Yeah.
Trying to find myself, trying to verbalize who I am. I'm still trying to seek my purpose.
Yeah.
So it's going to take her time. But a mom like you, I think you're gearing her to the right direction.
Yes.
Because thank God for someone that God kicked in your mind, in your life, to say, hey, okay, I chose you.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
I chose you because you are that woman for the job. He could have chose anybody else. Why you? He knew you could have handled it. Sometimes we think that we can't handle certain things, but he never gives us more than what we cannot bear.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And he chose you because you handle it. Listening to you, like, I'm wowed. Because you really honed into being a mom, being a provider, a protector.
Right.
To protect your little girl. It's not just being a mom protecting this little cute little baby.
Yeah.
Now it's like you in survival fight mode.
Yeah. And having her in my life, it's what geared my intentions on not only just becoming a nurse, but becoming one of the highest paid nurse in the career, because it's just like, if I'm going to do this, I have to be at the top of that ladder.
Period.
And she expressed it. She expressed it. She passed away on my 33rd, the year of my 33rd birthday.
Wow.
And
you just said it was her anniversary. Her birthday that passed?
Her death anniversary and birthday. She passed away the 26th of October, and she would have turned 66 on the 2nd of November. So she passed away when she was 65 years old.
Wow.
And she left me a very interesting voice note on my 33rd birthday, which was May 17th. A week later, she went to the doctor and they told her she had 6 months to live. And I still have that voice note.
Do you mind sharing about the voice note? What was it about?
Breaks my heart. It's basically, she was losing her voice from the chemo. And so it's a hoarse voice, but it's a voice of her telling me, I am proud of you, and I have raised.
Yeah. I know. I felt that one. I felt that one. I felt that one.
That she's raised a phenomenal woman.
Yeah.
And she's proud of the woman that I've become. And that she found out that I have a big shebang happening this weekend. I think I was having a birthday party. Yeah, my friend Tiffany and I, we are days apart, so we decided to have a birthday party. And, you know, she just basically just let me know how she felt. And I believe in her heart she knew that she
was okay.
She was okay with who I am. And she knew that
who you became.
And she knew that in a few months that she was going to pass on. She was going to descend. Yeah, I know that I've made her proud. And I just want to continue to do so. And I want to be a great example for my daughter. And now I have a 3-year-old son. They're 20 years apart.
Wow.
And he is thriving, amazing kid, a very high energy.
He's so smart. He's brilliant.
Yes, exceptionally bright.
So brilliant. He reads and writes and know his color
words. He's doing
math. math
Yes.
at the age of 2, since 2 years old. So he's not the typical 2-year-old. I just want to be clear. He's in the same grade as my son. There's no way they're on the same pace. Totally different. Reads, write, clear, speaking, knows words, can, such a smart young boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so my job is just to do the best I can and support both of them and to grow as they grow. And I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And I know
where's your father?
So my father's there. My father supported me when he found out that I was pregnant. His one question was, what are you gonna do? And I said, I'm keeping my kid. And he said nothing else after that. Didn't try to convince me that it's not a good idea. That's all he asked.
You were 6 months.
No, actually, no. I think I was in the early, when I found out when they found out she was going to be born with spina bifida is when I was 6 months. But I found out very early on that I had a missed period, and I already knew. And in that time, my mom was living in Maryland.
You're going to keep your kid.
Yeah. And what an interesting choice I made. I made that choice because I definitely... And, I have my own beliefs on, abortion. And I just have my own beliefs. And that's a personal choice, of course. And that was my choice. I decided, I am 18, but I want to give this child a life. And I have. And I have to the best of my ability. And I'm proud of myself. And along the way, I've had people ask me silly questions like, what did you do? Why was she born like this? And... it does hurt your feeling, but, as I got older and became a nurse and understood the pathophysiology of how spina bifida happens, and even understanding that the etiology is unknown, we don't know why it happens, but it does happen in 1 in 1,000 births, and she just happened to be that 1 in 1,000 births, and I embraced that.
Did your mom have time to play with your daughter? See her, care
she
for
definitely
her?
She was very significant in her life for the first 8 years. My mom was there. A lot of the time my daughter spent with her because my mom saw that I wanted to go to school. I started working when she was 6 months old. My mom was the one, taking care of her.
Was your mom working at this time, or?
My mom was not working. I don't believe she was working at this time. She stayed at home. And eventually, when my daughter got older, she did the civil service exam, and she was working at various psychiatric center as a clerk. And but she definitely supported me. And now it was, how is this going to happen? She looks healthy. She looks happy. She's solid, thick. She's healthy. How is this happening? How is this going to progress to
death
in 6 months? That was where my curiosity came in. And it may sound a little insensitive, but I couldn't believe it because of who I was looking at in front of me.
It didn't match up.
It didn't match up. The timeline and what I was physically seeing just did not match up.
How did your other siblings feel about it? Because I remembered, my mom went into, she had a heart attack. And prior to her heart attack, she just kept saying, Tash, if something happens to me, let me go. Let me go. And I took on to her words and I said, no problem. But, my mom's still living, thank God. But my sisters were I don't know what she's talking about. I'm doing everything in my power to resuscitate you. And so they didn't kind of respect her wishes. So I wanted to know, how did your siblings respond to that?
I really didn't have an issue with them responding in a negative way.
Okay.
She was sort of in my care, and I think when you have those challenges with your siblings, it's time to have a family meeting, and it's as soon as possible, because I've seen this so many times in the hospital where there's a huge feud of whether you should take a patient off event or not, or whatever. You need to have these conversations ready, and you need to have them all done in front of everyone, so that your mom have them understand these are my wishes, and I don't need anyone superseding it, because then that would not make me happy. And so I really don't, my brother understood, being an EMT paramedic, he understood that was important for us to have. And my sisters, they sort of understood, hey, you guys are in healthcare, it's, that part. And I think it also depends on the track that the person is going down, in terms of, you have people who are perfectly healthy and they got, and something happens, then what steps are we taking then? But it was not that way for my family, because we had that
warning,
pre-grieving state in that time.
I beg parents and even us, as young adults, we have kids, put your affairs in order.
Put your affairs in order. That is so true.
It's so important. So that when you close your eyes to rest, no one have to be shuffling to figure out how much to spend on your coffin.
Of course.
Should I cremate you, or just put you in a box? And how do I spend for a repast? Do I do a repast or not? Because I don't have the funds.
Absolutely.
It's so important that we just put money aside every day.
I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about death. And death is a part of life. It's imminent. As long as you're guaranteed to be born, you're guaranteed to die. And so, but a lot of people are afraid of it. I think it depends on how you view death. And we're all different, right? And if you understand, for me, the way I see death is just a changing form of energy from a physical flesh to a different dimension. And it could be, I don't want to get too deep into that, because, it's like that can bring conflict, but that's what gives me peace. And I think each and everyone has to find out what death means to them. And it's so important to know what that means, because these are conversations that has to be had, and only because it creates less conflict and feud, and the family could then grieve happily and move on. Instead of losing a friend, losing a sister, losing a brother, when you've already just lost someone significant. And it's not losing them by death, but losing them because now who's not upset at who, and who's not speaking to who. It's just
the chaos, unnecessary, and you can't even properly grieve.
Of course. I agree with that. I think it's really important to have those conversations as soon as possible, especially with a scare such as a cardiac arrest. Your mom could have went under and never came back, and it's really important to have those conversations when you have a scare that big.
And even if you don't want to have that conversation with other people, I think what people can do is write your wants, your will, write it, put it locked in a box, just put it away, and just tell your kids, like, hey, this box, something ever happened to me, just open it. Everything you need is in there.
Right. I think that's a good way.
I don't have to figure out all these things.
Yes.
Because I can't properly mourn.
Yes, exactly. That's a good way of putting it, because even sometimes when words are spoken and arrangements are being made before these things happen, it still causes pre-feud before actually grieving even start, or something really seriously happens, because they're not okay with what's written in that letter. And that's a good way for you to put it. Once I've gotten to this point where I can't make decisions, or I can't verbally say anything, here's the letter.
Especially for those who pass slowly, right? You're going through those stages and you're able to verbalize your wants. Okay. The ones who instantly pass, accidentally, that's a different story. but at least we still need to prepare ourselves now.
I agree.
As young adults, prepare ourselves. We have children. Don't wait until tragedy hit and we're shuffling.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
you're leaving that burden on your kids. Now what happens? You're gone and your kids is left with what?
Yeah.
To figure out how to bury you and can't process to mourn you.
Well, just like how you plan to buy a house and you plan your life, you should also plan your death. It's that simple.
Simple.
It's that simple. And if you know there's multiple parties involved in how you do certain things and things will be out of your control, you need to have even more of a hand on how it's being handled.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just you going and closing a deal for a house. That's you and that's a house. Now, these are multiple parties and personalities that are dealing with how do I lay my mom to rest. To rest.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Yeah. So I think it's important to have these conversations.
Yeah, I agree.
It's important to. And you and your siblings may not have the same you're not going to have the same way that you process things. And, they may want to hold on to a body, whereas you as a doctor of nurse practitioner, you're like, it's okay. I remember telling my mom the last few days, it's okay it's okay to take that whenever you're ready. I'm okay. But my sister didn't really see it that way.
You told your mom that?
Yeah, I did. I saw that she was suffering. I know the kind of life my mom lived. Very sprightly, happy, dancing all the time. You couldn't put on a music and she wasn't getting groovy, So it's just like to see her suffering, emaciated and what we call the term cachectic, right? When to see her just like a figment of who she was, like just bones and skin and all the swelling from the waist down. I already knew.
Immobile.
I already knew it was just a matter of time. And so I didn't really want to remember.
When your mom like took her last breath, were you there?
I was not. Okay. I knew though, because I knew it was going to happen. I knew she was what we call traveling because she had an apartment. My sister was there with her. And I want to say like 2 days before, even a day before she passed away, she has these cosmal breathing, like these breaths that that eventually very shallow. You knew that the time was coming. Yeah, the time was coming, and I knew that as well. Blood pressure was really, really low, and she begged us not to put her in hospice, and we never put her in hospice. It's not something you don't want to do. You're going to die right here. Yeah. I think I managed pretty well until they were taking her away on the gurney. I think that's when I broke down and cried after all the time. That's when I finally did, because at that point I knew
she wasn't coming back.
She wasn't coming back. That was when I knew that was it. That was it. It wasn't even looking at her on that bed. Yeah. It was when I heard them going up the stairs with her in that bag. I knew that was the last of it. Yeah. So, that's when I remember being in the bathroom and I just broke down. I just broke down in a fetal position, and because I knew that my mom was no longer
here.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear your mom or feel like she send you some signs?
Oh, so many times. So many times. We tend to refer with this little fly. There's always a fly showing up. I remember my sister was doing the eulogy and she had a couple of awarenesses where she felt like it was my mom sending us a message. For my birthday this year, I decided to go to London, and we did a day trip to Ireland to go to the Guinness house. And on the plane, there was a fly that just came, and he was just there. And I
shoot it.
Never left.
Never moved.
Never left. I leaned over, picked up my phone out of my bag to make a video. Never left. Never left, just stay there. Sometimes my mom always loved perfumes. I got a whiff of sweet smelling perfume. Sometimes I just recently I was in my car just sitting there and all of a sudden I just smell this she had a way she would walk through Macy's and just spray up all the perfumes. And I would always tell her, like, they're going to take you down one day, as a joke. And she loved perfumes. And she said to me, the day I die, just put perfumes in my casket. And that's what we did. That's what we did. White diamonds being one of her favorite. And she would just be like, I just got a whiff of a perfume smell like a few weeks ago. And right after that, I got a call for a position that I applied for, doing pre-surgical testing as a nurse practitioner. And I decided to take it because I'm like, not only was the numbers favorable, but it's also like, this was sort of like a preconceived, like,
she's here.
Yeah, it's just like
she's making way.
Yeah, and she's telling me something literally right after that phone call, and they were like, "Yeah, we're offering you this position." So yes, I definitely do believe that she does appear in different forms, and like I know I make her proud, and I at one point I did believe that she didn't live a full life, but that's not our that's not us to determine.
When you lose a mom, you lose a dad, you can't replace them.
Never.
You can't. I don't care if it's a year or 2 days or 30 years. You cannot
absolutely
replace that, and you cannot get that back. I tell people every day, cherish your parents.
Sorry.
Cherish your parents. Cherish your loved one. Cherish your family, your kids, your partner. Cherish them, because we don't know what tomorrow brings.
Oh yeah, and we tend to think that death has an age
or a date.
Or a date. There's no set time, and I believe it's important to be intentional.
Yeah.
And about everything that you do, and just appreciate everything that you have, every moment that you go through, because these moments should not be taken for granted. The breath you just took, you'll never take that breath again.
No.
And it's really important to just be content and be happy and stay grounded. And I think these are the important things of life.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that little person. You have to believe for your kids. Initially, I started...